Hi everyone, it's Ashlyn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I got that makeup look that you saw at the beginning using two new products that I've never used before, and also just my everyday makeup tricks that I love to use in the summer. So I'm starting off with some MAC Strobe Cream. I love this because it gives you a very luminous base, it's hydrating, and it helps your makeup apply really smoothly and seamlessly. So I'm using the foundation by Estee Lauder. This is Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup in the shade 2W2 Rattan, and I absolutely love this foundation. If you've seen some past tutorials, you know I love it. It's so good for the summertime because it's humidity proof, sweat proof, and just so long lasting, and it gives you a really good coverage. So I'm using the Morphe 439 brush to buff this into my skin. I'm using really nice circular motions to really get it in the skin and blend it out nicely and give a really nice finish to the foundation. And on the areas that I want more coverage, so for example like on my eyes and on my cheeks where there's more redness, I'm using more patting motions to build up the coverage of this foundation. And yeah, I love this brush and I love this foundation because it's super buildable. So as you can see in this shot, my face is a little bit lighter than my neck, but that's okay because I'm using this Double Wear Loose Powder Makeup, and this is one of the new products. It's a loose mineral powder basically, and it's in the shade 3.0, which is a little bit dark for me, but I'm using this because I'm trying to darken my face anyways. So I'm just using it like to counteract the lightness of the foundation I've used so that we match our neck. And then a nice tip to get the powder out is to close it, flip it upside down, shake it, tap off the excess, and then use a powder brush, I'm using the one by Real Techniques, to just swirl into the cap and get the perfect amount of product to put on your face. So with powders like this, loose powders especially, I like to buff them on to make sure that there's a really nice even coverage all over the foundation, and so that everything just looks seamless and buffed to perfection. So then I'm going to take the Maybelline concealer, this one's in the shade 20 Sand, underneath my eyes, and I'm putting it in kind of like a triangle pattern instead of just right underneath my eyes, because I find that this is good for highlighting the entire center of the face, not just directly under your eyes, because that can look a little weird. So I'm putting some on my forehead as well as the bridge of my nose as well. And just blending it in using my contour brush, again by Real Techniques. And just setting that with the same powder that we used before. And yeah, here I'm just looking at how the powder laid on top of the foundation, and I'm super impressed. It's a really nice satiny, natural finish, as you can see in this close-up. You can still see my natural freckles like through my foundation, as well as some beauty marks, and yeah, it doesn't look too heavy or cakey at all, so I really like how that turns out, and I think it's perfect for the summertime. So I'm just going to do my brows off camera. I'm using the same products I used before. I love the Anastasia products. This is Dip Brow Pomade in Ash Brown, and the matching powder duo also in Ash Brown. Yeah, I'll link my brow tutorial at the top right of the screen. So here's the second product that I'm trying out for the first time. It's the Becca Champagne Split Pan in the shade Prosecco Pop and Amaretto. This is a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. I absolutely love her. And yeah, so here are the swatches. That's Amaretto, the blush, and Prosecco Pop, which is the golden highlight. And I'm going to compare it to Champagne Pop just so you can see the difference and whether you think you need the other ones or not. I mean, it's completely different product, so totally justifiable, right? But yeah, so Champagne Pop is the one on the right. It's the more peachy toned highlighter. I definitely suggest getting that one if you're more fair than medium skin tone, because the golden highlight would look a little bit too yellow on your skin if you are more fair than me. But it's beautiful for the summertime because it gives you that really nice golden glow. So yeah, that's the Prosecco Pop on my face there. I put some on my cheekbones and onto the center of my nose, and I also use it later on the inner corners of my eyes, as you'll see later, but yeah, that's that. And then on a blush brush, I'm just taking the Amaretto blush and swooping that on kind of like the area where you put your contour blush. So basically like the outer third of your cheekbones and a little bit onto the apples as well. I really like this lip band because it comes with this blush that kind of acts as a contour as well as a highlight, so it's really like travel friendly. And yeah, just because I wanted even more depth and dimension, I'm going to contour a little more using the Benefit Hoola bronzer with the brush that comes with it. Just doing the fishy face. I also like to bring it down towards the chin, just because I think that gives you a more natural contour, and then blend it out if you go too crazy. And because I have oily eyelids, I like to prime my eyes before putting on eyeshadow. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the original formula. I love this primer. It's so good. I like swear by it. And then to set that primer, because it was kind of sticky, I'm going to take the white shade from this Smashbox palette and put that all over where I put the primer, just to set it, so that when you put a darker color on, it doesn't just stick to the primer and get really patchy. So yeah, now that we set it, when you put another powder on top, it'll glide on way more effortlessly and blend out so seamlessly. I also really love this palette because it's like the size of a credit card and it's super convenient for traveling. So to define the crease, I'm taking that rosy shade and just popping that all over the crease of my eyes, making sure to blend upwards towards the eyebrow and also outwards towards the tail of my eyebrow. And then to deepen up the look and give some depth and dimension to my eyes, I'm taking a more tapered blending brush and going in with that ashier brown color and just sweeping that all over the crease of my eye, focusing it more towards closer to the lid. And just because this involved so much blending, I'm just speeding it up so that this video isn't too long, but just blending is key. It really is. You just have to take your time and blend everything out. And I like to alternate between going back between the transition shade with the brown color so that you get nice gradient. And then using this other Smashbox palette, I'm dipping my fingers into that gold, orangey, peachy color and the dark brown, and applying those to the lid. So I'm putting the lighter color on the inner 2/3 of my eye all over the lid, just because I find that this color is so pretty and pigmented. And then I'm going to put the darker color onto the outer third to give the eye a little bit more dimension, and then blending it out with that same brush that we used before in the crease. And then I'm just popping a little bit of that Prosecco Pop right onto the inner corners to brighten up the center of my face. Now using a flat definer brush, I'm going into that same ashy brown color from the Smashbox credit card palette, is what I'm going to call it, and I'm just going to drag that onto the lower lash line to define the lashes there, and also just to balance out the shadows, because you don't want your lid, your top lid, to be too heavy without smoking up the lower lash line. And then now just to add some liner, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Covet Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Noir, which is just a deep black, and I'm just going to put that all over the top lash line, just smudging it, making sure to look away from the point so that I don't ruin my makeup and don't poke my eye out. So I like to start on the outer part of my eye and work my way towards the inside and then thicken it up if I want to. And then just going to tightline as well. I like to open my eyes really wide and look away from the point again. And I really like doing this because it really thickens the look of your lashes, and I think it makes a very noticeable difference. And then just to open the eyes even more, I'm just putting a little bit of the black onto the very outer third of my lower waterline, and making sure to not bring it in all the way to the inside of the lower lash line, because that can actually close off your eyes. And then of course I'm going to curl my eyelashes and add some mascara, just to prep them for some falsies, because I did want that extra glam and drama. Now using my favorite mascara that got discontinued, I'm so upset about that, but whatever. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in the waterproof formula, and I'm just gonna ever so slightly put a little bit onto my lower lashes just to define them, but not make them too doll-like, because that's not the look I'm going for. And there you go, mascara on. And then lashes on. You can see the glue still because it's drying, but it does dry clear. If you do have a glue that does not dry clear, then I have a tip for you coming up very soon. But first we're going to do lips, and I'm going to put on this Bite Beauty Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Glacé all over my lips. I really like this color. It's pretty mauvey and neutral, and it's really comfortable and creamy to wear. And going back to that eyelash trick, as you can see, mine dried pretty clear, but if you do want to cover up that lash band a little bit more, you can go back into that liner that you used and just trace all over where the glue is, just to hide it and camouflage it even more. And there you go. That's the finished look. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!